And it is the Saturday Coffee Clutch with Heather Lofthouse and yours truly, Robert Reich. And Heather,
Here we are.
Here we are having coffee in our favorite place to have coffee.
Which is Saul's in Berkeley.
Yes, and it's No King's Day.
It is No King's
Day. And
so
so we're getting ready, and everybody else is getting ready. And I hope it's going to be, well, the last No King's Day was what, June 10th? No, June 14th.
Yes.
And there were 5 million, 6 million
5 to
people.
6, yeah, that's what they said.
I mean, that was a huge
record-breaking.
Record-breaking. And I think this today...
And peaceful.
And peaceful. And I think today is going to be bigger and more peaceful, if it can be more peaceful.
I hear at least 2,500 cities. I'm so excited to see what the final numbers are.
This is, people, a lot of people are skeptical about demonstrations. And I have to admit, I have had some skepticism about just demonstrations that are not linked to politics. But when I heard, the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, last week say, well, this is actually a Hate America rally.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear that?
Oh, and he's so dismissive. All the Marxists are going to be on the mall for that.
The Marxists on the mall.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the terrorists. And they're
it's
kind of
so dismissive. Oh, and he just throws off Antifa and BLM. And he just throws off.
And the left and the crazy left and the extreme radical left. And it's so dismissive. But when they say that, and it's not just Johnson, it's talking points throughout the administration.
Yep.
And Besant, the Treasury Secretary,
And about him, he was trying to tie it, which makes no sense, to the government shutdown. So he had this phrase where he said, no kings, no paychecks.
No, what?
I'm sorry, you're trying to, it's just...
So if you go to No Kings, you're not going to get a paycheck? No, if you don't have a king, you won't have a paycheck.
Well, or kiss the king's ring and maybe you'll get a paycheck.
Or you kiss the king's tuchus and you get 2 paychecks.
Yeah.
What are they afraid of? The fact that they were getting so much pushback from the administration on a demonstration, I think that they are frankly worried. And I think they're worried that it's going to be too big, that it's decentralized. It's going to be in every town, every city in America, 2,500 towns and cities already. And I think that they're just worried about all the coverage it's going to get.
Oh, for sure. And they want to get ahead of it and say it's dirty and disgusting and, unhinged. It's the most unhinged.
It's great for the
You know what I
administration.
remember?
Unhinged administration.
I was going to say, do you remember that January 6th?
Was there a demonstration? Yes, an unhinged demonstration.
Unhinged.
Talk about violent.
I know.
No,
horrible.
but the administration, the regime, what they have been trying to do with ICE and with everything else that they provoked, and the troops, they want a confrontation.
For sure.
They want Americans to progressives, Democrats, but ordinary Americans to rise up in such a way that they can oppress.
Yeah.
This is the long-term strategy. And I think that today, the fact that it is going to be peaceful, now, who knows, it may be at the fringe in one city or another, there's a little bit of, action that we would not approve of, and I hope that's not the case. And they are going to play it up, obviously.
Right, if it were to happen.
But there's no question that Stephen Miller and others
look
at it all as when they try to demonstration and crime. They are conjoining. It's all disorder, and it's all a pretext for them for repression, for more and more repression.
What's the difference between a demonstration and a peaceful protest?
There is none. If it's a peaceful demonstration and if it's a peaceful protest, what's the difference between a demonstration and a protest?
Yeah, and this sounds like a joke.
It's not a joke, but let me think if I can make a joke out of it.
But so in San Francisco, there's going to be marches that are going on now.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild to see all the different flavors of how people are going to show up. And they're keeping, again, peaceful, keeping very clear what the goal is, which is no kings. This is
democracy.
right.
It's about no kings, no dictatorship. This is this is the essential issue we are all dealing with. And,
Right.
and I think that the notion of keeping it peaceful and keeping on message,
Yep.
I hope that today, and we'll find out more later, that the signs are mainly about democracy
Right.
and no dictators, and we don't do kings.
The signs, physical signs, or the metaphorical signs?
Everything,
Yeah.
metaphorical, physical, everything else. And that I hope there are a lot of American flags. Why?
Oh, yeah.
Why give the other side, the notion that they are patriots?
No, they've tried to usurp it. I mean, they're good at marketing.
Yes, but the flag is ours. The
I know.
flag is the average American who is out there trying to preserve our democracy and rule of law and social justice and things that Americans need.
I know.
And that's what so I hope there are going to be a lot of flags, and I hope that
And a lot of people.
well, there are going to be a lot of people, really a lot
It's
of people.
exciting.
It is, and I think it's also laying the predicate for the 2026 midterms.
Midterms.
A demonstration that doesn't have any link to politics is a little hollow, and I think that this is self-consciously linked to the 2026 midterms.
Yep. So I'm proud of all these people who are saying, you know what, I'm not going to stand for this. And I think more and more people are realizing, we can look at the polls, are realizing this is horrendous what is happening.
Well, this is the-
corruption is undeniable. The effect on me is undeniable.
Well, I think that's right, and there's a kind of the great reveal over the last couple of weeks, because a lot of people I hear, people who are not, lefties or progressives or even Democrats or, a lot of people are saying to me, not just in Berkeley, but I'm going around the country, they're saying to me in the last couple of weeks, it could be me. They could be pulling me out of, my apartment, or, the ICE arrests in Chicago. There were something like 700 actual American citizens who were arrested for no reason, except that they were in the wrong place at the wrong time.
But can I use this opportunity to remind us there have been some wins in the court around specifically this and sending National Guard
Yes.
into
Big
Chicago
wins. Big
and
wins.
into other cities?
Big wins. And even Trump appointed judges.
Yep.
I think this is a part of the pushback. It's part of the, even the judges are saying, no, this is wrong.
Right.
This is not right. It's wrong.
Right.
It's wrong.
That's what I said.
It's wrong.
On
It's-
first, who?
Yeah, I'm on.
Yeah.
The judges are really. I have a
The
whole
judges.
list
I have a list.
of judges. Judge Karen Immergut,
Yep.
who's a Trump appointee, blocking the National Guard.
Yeah. In Oregon.
In Oregon.
For
It's
Portland,
a
yeah.
big deal.
Trump appointee.
She ought to be. And can you imagine the blowback she's getting?
Oh, for sure.
And all of these judges.
Hopefully she changed her cell phone number.
There is, all kinds of. William Smith in Rhode Island ruled that DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, violated a previous court order by conditioning FEMA grants to state cooperation with ICE. And then you had Judge Susan Ilston temporarily pausing Trump's and votes firings. The reduction in force. Judges all over America are saying no.
Right.
It's not just the protesters today; it's the judges.
And
who-
then the universities this week who said, no, thank you, I do not want to join that compact, and I will not take your deal.
And let's salute Brown.
Yep.
Brown, isn't interesting because Brown went along with negotiating with Trump before, and now Brown is standing up and saying no. MIT is
Yep.
standing up saying no. USC
Yes.
saying no.
Penn.
And Penn saying no. And my alma mater, Dartmouth College, saying
Maybe.
maybe.
I haven't decided yet.
Look.
Think about it.
But the good news is that these universities are saying no, and you have the press corps, the Pentagon press corps.
Did you all hear about this? This is wild to me.
I think it's amazing. Because Hegseth said in order to report on the Pentagon, in order to go to my press conferences, you have got to agree to only report on what I say you can report on.
Right. And if you ask people questions about unclassified information,
Unclassified.
we reserve the right to say you're out of line and you'll be in
So
trouble for that.
In other words, total control over any news coming out of the
And
Pentagon.
journalistic integrity and rights.
And
Hello?
what did the news organizations do? They got together and they said no. Even Fox News said no, we're not going to stand for this.
So the choice was agree to our new policy, sign your name here in 24 hours, or give us your press badges. They said, we'll give you your press badges. We'll be reporting from across the street to the best of our ability, not able to ask people questions about unclassified information.
So for the first time in anybody's memory, there's nobody in the press room at the Pentagon, or maybe
It's so
one.
depressing.
Well, it's
Good
depressing,
on the
but
press.
well, no, I think it's great because it means that there is a pushback. It's like we've just talked about with the courts and the universities. I mean, people are and institutions are finally, after 9 or more months, they're finally getting it. They're finally understanding that in unity there is strength.
And you saw Kristi Noem's video, Homeland Security, Secretary of Homeland Security.
You know, she is really one of the weakest links. I mean,
Did you say wickest or weakest?
weakest.
No, wickedest.
She could be wickedest. She's weakest links.
But so she does this video where it's very straight to camera and good hair and very smooth and great lighting. In fact, Michael, if we could work on my lighting.
I think your lighting is terrific.
You're very kind. So
No,
she
really.
does this video, but it's
You
weird.
could do a video, you know,
For the airports?
For the airports.
So she does this thing, then she says it's Democrats' fault that there's a shutdown. Basically, I'm paraphrasing here. And, you know, our TSA is not getting paid, and it's Democrats' fault, and it's Democrats' fault. And that's the video. And 27 airports
27
said, we're not
airports
playing
said
that. We don't
no.
do partisan. This is not helpful. This is not a good video.
But the airport authorities,
I know.
you know, to be able to know enough about what their rights are and what passengers should be exposed to and don't need to be exposed to, it's great.
But also, this just reminds me that there are these little bubbling up of activism, but also resistance. So this is a side note, but there are some airports too that refuse to accept the high prices that vendors come in and charge. You know, instead of a latte for $4, which is the street price, we're going to make it $8. And so some airports have said that does not work for us. We require street pricing of all our vendors. It's fascinating to me where you can think of literally hubs that are doing this kind of active resistance and saying, no, this is how we operate.
So it's
we are
active-
not giving in.
Active economic resistance and political
Yeah.
resistance. Well, I think this is all.
it
This
can
goes back
be
to
done.
a basic theme. It can be done, and it is an education for the whole country. What we're going through. I mean, the silver lining.
Torturous one,
it's,
but
it's
yes.
a torture,
Yeah.
but it's an education. We are actually people are out there today marching. And these institutions are fighting back.
Yeah.
And there is a kind of, you know, this would not have happened 9 months ago.
Yeah.
It didn't happen during the first Trump administration.
I think my horn is going to
regime.
break on my car because all these people, you know, have a honk if you believe in no kings, and I just lay on the horn. I'm sure it's going to run out of juice
You
at
know,
some
I
point.
hear your horn all the way over to where I live.
Probably.
I mean, you have to get a little
But it
easier
feels,
on
it
the
is,
horn.
it's solidarity, and it's,
It
and
is.
to watch the people with cowbells and, you know, honking and honking.
Well,
it's
because,
powerful.
you know, the biggest and best antidote to the kind of morose despair that so many people feel under this
Justifiably.
administration, justifiably, is activism,
Yeah.
is actually getting out there and doing something.
Yeah.
And I think that what we're seeing now is that when I use the metaphor of the giant, the great giant, the sleeping giant of
Awakening,
America,
yeah.
awakening, that's what's happening. And I've seen it before. You know, I'm old enough to remember the civil rights movement. And
Oh God, we got to talk about the BRA.
oh yeah.
Okay, but keep going. I
No,
interrupted you.
but there are things that are troublesome
Yeah.
going on. The
So
Voting
one
Rights
thing
Act,
that was fabulous this week was watching Bernie and AOC.
weren't they great?
They were so great, and it was so interesting that he really kind of deferred to her. It was a fascinating,
It's kind of a
Media.
trade. It's kind of a passing of the baton.
yes.
Bernie is 83. She's 35. She now 35. She can run for president. Hello.
Hello.
In 2028.
Whenever, yeah.
She's an incredible. AOC is, I think, one of the best politicians in America. I mean, she knows how to use social media. She connects with young people.
And all of these clips from this, I don't know if everybody saw it, but she was so direct
Yeah.
and so specific and so clear and so rational. And her delivery was, it was fierce and had power, but it wasn't over the top. It was very, I mean, it was like...
And she talks about things that most Americans care about.
Right.
In terms of childcare and, health care and affordability.
Right.
And this is what Zorhan Hamdani does too.
Yes.
I mean, he zeroes in not on the ideological stuff, on the kind of
Right.
airy-fairy. No, it's basics. It's kind of common sense chicken, kind of what people need.
Chicken
table.
soup?
No, kitchen table economics.
Right.
Chicken table economics.
Yeah.
Um,
Unless
and-
you're vegan, then...
And well,
Tofu.
then you could do tofu
Seitan.
table economics.
Yeah.
But
But
these-
I just think the way she talks about it, Trump wants you to see this. He is this. We are this. And this is why. It's very logical.
I don't understand why more Democrats can't be that clear.
I know.
I mean, there are too many. I mean, for example, why isn't Schumer and Jeffries, why aren't they endorsing Mamdani? I mean, hello.
what is the answer to that?
Well, I think the real answer is that is money.
Money in
it's
politics.
Money in politics. The big money still is threatened
Yeah.
by somebody who calls himself a democratic socialist, and
And Trump has been going back and forth saying, I'm not having I'm sending no money to New York if that communist runs it.
well, they've already cut off something in the order of $18 billion in infrastructure funding, and that is illegal. Can I just
Yes.
deal with this illegal?
Yes.
Because I brought
We have a lot of illegalities.
illegalities too.
Gaggities
I
happening.
want to go. This is my pocket
God, I
constitution.
need coffee for this. Okay, go ahead.
Now, this is Article 1. Article 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, forgive me if I'm sounding, mansplaining, but this is
No,
really
it's... You
important.
sound like a teacher
Well, I was a teacher.
being didactic.
I was a didactic. I was not a didactic teacher. Now, Article 1 is about Congress. Why is it Article 1? Because Congress is the people's, branch of government. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, it's
not,
a democracy.
It's called a democracy. So Article 1, Section 9, and its Clause 7, no money shall be drawn from the Treasury, but in consequences of appropriations made by law. Hello? So in other words, every time you've got Trump and his henchmen like Russell Vogt, they are moving money, or they're saying, well, we're not going to spend that money, or impounding the money, or we're going to use the money in the shutdown for the military. We're going to spend them, but we're not going to use it for this, or we're not going to send this money to New York for infrastructure.
And we're not asking approval, and we're not giving a heads up. We're just doing it. We're using last year's dollars this year to do what we want.
That's right, because we are what? Kings. Well, this is, can I just say, Heather,
go ahead.
Article 1, Section 9, Clause 7.
I see your notes.
Yes.
Notes.
But this is unconstitutional. It's just
I know.
blatantly
I know.
unconstitutional. This is what the march today is about. We don't want kings. We want people who, in positions of power, who respect the Constitution.
You saw Trump's numbers down, according to Morning Consult, in the 7 battleground states for the
Right.
first time.
Well,
Lowest they've been.
They continue to go down because I think people are catching on in all the ways we've been talking about. People are just fed up. He's a thug. He's a liar.
And the shutdown is scary. So there are different polls, right? People are still, on average, blaming Republicans.
Well, of
and
course they're
Trump
blaming
for the-
Republicans. And here's the thing. Republicans are in control of the White House and both houses of Congress, and they're in control effectively of the Supreme Court. So now finally the Republicans have everything, and Americans are looking and they're saying, well, okay, Republicans are in charge. What are we getting out of this? What are we getting?
Yeah,
We're
they're the
getting,
ones driving the car.
As my grandfather would say, bupkis.
Yeah.
We're getting nothing. In fact, we're worse off than we were before. Inflation is threatening. No jobs are being, very few jobs are being created.
And the big beautiful bill and what it's done to about to do to 15 million people in their health care, people are starting to take notice.
Well, they will, because let's see, November 1st is when a lot of these problems in terms of healthcare financing go into effect. So
but it's already started. People are out shopping. I think it was in Idaho, and people said my premium went from 51 to 2,000 a month dollars.
Now, see, this is the thing. This goes back to the element. Goes back to AOC and what the Democrats ought to be talking about. When people see that their premiums for healthcare are soaring, and they say, "Well, why is that?" And they understand that it is because the Republicans passed this big ugly bill, and the Democrats are saying, we want to hold out and restore the subsidies for Obamacare or for the Affordable Care Act. And by the way, they run everything. You can't blame us for the shutdown. I think people are getting it.
Yeah, and Bernie has said this so well and directly, which is Democrats tried to negotiate for 4 months. There was zero negotiation, and now they're shutting down the government. There's no negotiation. It's like, no. We've been trying to negotiate.
Well, because the Republicans in Congress are just rubber stamps, zombies for Trump. I mean, they fear Trump. They don't want to be primaried, so they'll do whatever he wants. And if he doesn't want them to do anything,
the American people are the ones suffering.
Well, I think, again, going back to the theme today, the No Kings Day, it's that Trump is supposed to be working for us. Besant and Russell Vogt and J.D. Vance and Stephen Miller, they're supposed to be working for us. They are our public servants. We are not working for them. And the Republicans in Congress, our Congress, they're supposed to be working for all of us.
And that's what AOC said. She said, Trump, if he dislikes you and he finds that you didn't vote for him, he will not advocate for you. He will not be seen as representing you.
No, I mean, worse yet.
She said, I represent everyone. I don't care if you like me. I don't care if you voted for me. You are part of my constituency. I am making your life better. I am not making it worse because of who you are.
This is exactly the point. He is nothing but partisan vengeance. And he's taking money away. He says, I'm going to take the money away from Democrat programs. Well, what's a Democrat program? I mean, if you're talking about health care
the rebrand
or child care, or you're talking about anything else, the infrastructure that people
demos,
need.
it's for the people.
You tell me a Democrat program, and I'll tell you that it's not a Democrat program. It's a people's program. There's this notion somehow, and again, it's in Trump, but he's infecting the entire Republican Party with this deep, entrenched, angry partisanship, which is that it's us versus them. The Americans are divided between the good guys and the bad guys. It's very dangerous.
And you've said this in about 2,000 of your Substacks.
I do. I said it today
just
again.
last week.
Yes.
But you can't appease a tyrant. I mean, that is a recipe for disaster. Yes. So people standing up, all these examples we've been citing, are so critically important.
They're critically important. And the fact that today and the airports and the Pentagon and the universities and all of these institutions and people are standing up, to me, is very, very encouraging. It doesn't mean that we're out of the woods.
No.
It means that we're at the beginning of the start of the end.
In terms of his illegal spending, who's going to come to the rescue on that? Is it going to be the courts?
It has to be the courts. I mean, the courts, and ultimately the question, of course, is the Supreme Court.
Well,
I mean, the lower court. Well, the lower courts have been doing a wonderful job. The district courts, great. The trial courts, federal trial courts, extraordinary. But the Supreme Court is really the problem. And John Roberts is showing that he is, deep down, not a Chief Justice for the people. He's a Chief Justice for the powerful. And obviously the Trump appointees are doing exactly that as well. And Alito and Thomas, I mean, they are there for the powerful. So it's worrisome. I mean, the Voting Rights Act. Now, again, Heather, I'm old enough to remember when Congress passed the Voting
That's
Rights
why I
Act.
coffee with you, because I want to learn from you. And I can tell you what the cool kids are doing today after this.
Okay, well, I'll tell
an
you about
exchange.
what the boomers remember.
Yeah.
So the Voting Rights Act, Section 2, says that it is impermissible to have districting or redistricting that doesn't actually reflect the racial makeup of a state. So you've got to have enough districts that do reflect black people, for example, but and that was the law of the land. I mean, up until 2 years ago, that's the Supreme Court said that was the law of the land.
Right.
Section 2 is very important. Now they're making noises. The Supreme Court, they heard arguments this week that maybe Section 2 should be phased out, or maybe it's no longer applicable, or maybe
Because we're so not racist anymore?
well, that's right. Their point is that we are not racist. This is, by the way, this is part of administration that is putting white supremacy back on the books.
Good for you, calling it what it is.
I mean, it's what they are doing.
I know.
I mean, it's not just the Supreme Court. The Trump administration is now saying, in effect, okay, we will allow refugees in
Yep.
if they are white.
Yep.
Hello?
Yep. Whitewashing, the ultimate form.
I mean,
it's disgusting.
it's
And the press is like, it's a little problematic as relates to race, and it's white supremacy.
It's white supremacy. I mean, they are the administration and the Supreme Court are both bowing to white supremacy. This is not majoritarianism. This is white supremacy. Make no mistake about it. And I worry about voting rights, the Voting Rights Act Section 2, because if they get rid of it, that's something in the order of 17 to 19 House seats.
I know, I saw those numbers.
That go to the Republicans. It makes the South basically total Republican, and minorities in the South are squeezed out.
But we have to remember, as Vishal on our team continues to remind us, a so-called safe seat can become incredibly competitive
Yep.
if we swing and get out the vote.
Well, get out the vote, and that's exactly right. And this is what today's demonstration is also about, because only half Americans vote in presidential elections, and fewer than half in a midterm election. If you get a big chunk of the people who don't normally vote out, and because they're angry, because they want change, because they've had enough, because they don't like, for example, white supremacist,
For example.
policies.
Yeah.
Well, then you can change the entire complexion, not to put too fine a point on it, of Congress. And I think that that's what we have to assume will happen if the administration, if this regime, and even the Supreme Court continues to go in the direction they're going.
Right. And so all this is happening, and Trump continues to be his magnanimous foe self on the international stage.
Isn't that interesting?
So last week we had a cup of coffee, and we talked about him bailing out Argentina.
Yeah, to the tune of, it's now 40
It was 20
billion?
last week.
Yeah, it's now
They've
up
doubled
to,
it.
It's now up to 40
He's
billion.
bailing out Argentina,
Bailing
but we
out-
don't have money for social safety net programs,
No,
Democrat programs.
No, we're getting rid of $18 billion of New York
healthcare and
in
food
New York
stamps.
infrastructure, and we're getting rid of food stamps and Medicaid, we're eating
and
into
healthcare,
Medicaid.
healthcare for people.
Healthcare for the Americans. But $40 billion for Argentina? Hello? Is there something wrong with this picture? And why Argentina?
Well, we know that, right?
Yes.
We think it's all money related, and Scott Besson and hedge funds and finance.
Well, I think
pockets,
that
pockets.
I think it is not too cynical to assume that there are some payoffs being made
And
here.
also authoritarian fist bumping. You know, it feels very like,
An authoritarian fist bump?
Well,
Is that,
just-
maybe that's an
that's a
authoritarian.
high five. That feels less authoritarian.
No, that's the opposite of the
okay,
authoritarian
then let's
fist
do that.
bump.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So, and then you've got the Middle East. I mean, I think
This
that,
is fascinating.
well, I
Trump
think
is
that
taking.
I think Trump. Let's give him some credit, and he deserves some credit. I mean, he doesn't deserve credit. It was actually, Tony Blair and Jared Kushner, and
we have to give him some credit.
I think so, because
Okay.
they were the ones who came to Trump 6 months ago and said, look, here's a plan. And if we get Egypt and we can get Turkey and we can get Qatar
Right.
involved and put pressure
And
on
Netanyahu
Hamas.
will listen to you, and then
Yeah,
others
and-
will listen to you because of your global king power.
I mean, Trump doesn't really do anything in terms of initiating anything except vengeance. He's good at vengeance.
And subtlety.
And but what they did is they came with a plan, and Trump probably said, "Say, okay, good."
So the hostages,
And for
fabulous.
and
Came
so
home.
yes, this is a big deal. Getting the hostages out, and the prison swap for hostages, that is good. But the hard part starts now. I mean, what do you do in terms of how do you get the Israeli troops out of Gaza
And rebuild for the Palestinians.
and create a new international government there? And how do you get Hamas to stop,
Corruption out.
well, drop its arms to get rid of its militia. I mean, the hard part now is, it seems to me, Netanyahu. He wants there to be conflict. He wants. I mean, it sounds terrible to say this, but he has a kind of a codependent relationship with Hamas. Hamas became more powerful because Netanyahu went to the right. Netanyahu went to the right because Hamas became more powerful, and then that horrible day of
In
Hamas
October, yeah.
killing.
Yeah.
But Netanyahu and his right-wing cabinet still are reluctant to get the troops out, the Israeli troops out, and I think Netanyahu is worried about, frankly, being convicted of crimes. I mean,
Right.
and which is interesting because Trump is now dropping hints to the Israeli government, the president of Israel. Maybe you want to give Netanyahu a pardon. I mean, this is how Trump thinks. This is how Trump operates.
The pardons.
it's
The
only-
pardons and the praising.
Yeah, praising and pardons. And that's what he's doing with his Justice Department.
That's what he did on for his January 6th.
And January 6th, and he's completely. I mean, if you look at, I used to work in the Justice Department, and I still have a few people who I know there, and Heather, it is just abominable what's happening. These are people who are public servants. It's a Justice Department that is supposed to represent justice. I mean, it's a Department of Justice. It's now become a Department of Injustice, going after Trump's enemies. I mean, this business of Letitia James and Comey and Bolton and just turning justice. And if you're a prosecutor and you don't want to do Trump's work, you're fired. And this is authoritarian. This is what today's No King's Day is about.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should get on our way.
And
no
demonstrate.
King's Day. Well, I'm going to peacefully protest.
I'm going to peacefully protest too.
Okay.
I think we should. Are you going to peacefully protest? This is the same place I'm peacefully protesting?
Maybe. I'll see you there. Are you going to wear a yellow shirt? People are wearing yellow shirts.
I'm not going to wear a yellow shirt. Why should I wear a yellow shirt?
Well, because that's solidarity. Indivisible. By the way, we have to give Indivisible some serious kudos and credit and gratitude. I mean, they are
Absolutely.
out there leading this effort under a lot of pressure. It's Ezra Levin and Leah Greenberg, who's his wife, and they're co-directors, co-executive directors,
But
and they are
what they've done so
doing
well
great.
is decentralize. These demonstrations are not in one place; they are all over America, and that decentralized aspect gives them more power.
Yeah.
And it makes it less likely that Trump can come in and with his goons or
Right.
his troops. But also the whole enterprise is decentralized. A lot of people feel that they have agency and authority in their towns.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in one small town just 2 days ago in Northern California, and the indivisible people are just organizing and they're
Yeah.
moving. It's great to see.
Yep, all their chapters.
Yeah.
So things coming up. I'm constantly thinking in terms
How
of
was your movie?
Oh, my movie. My movie. I mean,
Yeah.
my movie is
It's
doing
your mind.
great.
You are the
Producer.
producer.
Yeah, and executive producer. But I'm new to all this. You want to be a producer. The executive. I always thought executive producer trumps, pardon the phrase, producer. No,
Doesn't?
producer. No.
Wait a minute. You mean the producer is higher than executive
Yes.
producer?
Who knew? Not I.
Well, I didn't either. If
Well, now
nobody
we
else
do.
knows, then who cares?
Well, you know who knows? The Academy.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Academy. We're talking about the Motion Picture
Well,
Academy.
I'm just saying, yeah, how things rank
Do you
up.
think there's a possibility that your
No
movies
way.
could?
No way. No
you,
way.
You mentioned the Academy. It's on your mind.
No, I'm just saying how the hierarchy works. I didn't
Okay.
understand it.
Well, so you're
but
a
an
producer
executive
and
producer
you're
doesn't get
executive
an
producer.
Oscar.
Oh, you could get an Oscar.
I mean,
I think
the
you
pressure's
should.
on you, the subject.
I want you to get an Oscar. Do you want Heather to get? Do you think Heather should get an Oscar?
Bob,
Raise your hand if you think Heather should get an Oscar.
Reich, this is not
this
fair.
movie?
Not fair.
The
So
Last
how's
Class.
the movie going? Do you mind if I open my laptop? Is that too
What?
much? Let me open my laptop. So
What
we
are we-
did a
what?
live yesterday, and it's
Yeah.
been so fun to watch the comments. So everyone looking forward to it in Honolulu. Just saw it in
We're
St.
talking
Louis.
about the Last Class.
The Last Class film,
film.
which is about Robert Reich's final semester of
but it's not
teaching.
about me. I'm the front man.
You're
It's
the
about-
front man, but it's about aging and it's about grappling with retirement and it's about the power of students and public
That's
education.
the beauty of
and
it. I mean,
community.
aging and retirement. Hello, I've had enough of that. But it's about students. It's about education. It's about, the students in that movie are so beautiful.
And the shots of them all.
And Elliot Kirshner deserves a line.
Yes, the director.
And Josh
Melrod, yep.
the editor.
Yep.
Everybody deserves.
But it's
huge-
so fun to see. I saw it in Doylestown, Pennsylvania.
Did you?
No, I'm reading the comments.
Oh.
I saw it in Portland, Maine. I saw it in North Haven. Oh, no, I'm seeing it in North Haven,
Well, there-
Connecticut next week.
But how many? But these are all over the country.
Yep, saw it on the Olympic Peninsula in Washington State.
Well,
I saw in Nashville, Tennessee. It's so fun that everyone went in.
Are you going to go through every one of these?
We just need a couple more hours. I'm going to get us another cup of coffee first. I saw it at the Crest in
Wait a minute.
Seattle.
I'm
I
a
saw
little-
it in Anchorage, Alaska,
I'm a little
Portland,
bored.
Oregon.
Anchorage is sort of interesting, but I'm bored right now.
Oh, it's so great, but it's so fun that everyone kind of jumped in and said, sold out in St. Louis
Well,
at the Gorilla Cinema where I
remember
saw
there
it.
was a film called
Toronto,
Sold Out in St.
Modesto.
Louis. You remember that?
DC.
It was Judy Garland. Sold out in St.
Oh,
Louis.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
So,
So now let me tell you this. I'm coming to an event for your book this week. You and Michael Lewis are doing something. How's
Yes.
your book doing?
oh, I thought you'd never ask. The book is doing good. Well, it opened at number 1
I
on the New
know.
York Times nonfiction bestseller list. It's not quite there anymore, but it's doing fine.
I
And
just
there's-
saw a comment that someone said she read the book twice and saw the movie.
Well, people
Coming up short.
It's very hard to read it, not just once. People do come back, and there's an audiobook. in the
Yes.
book, too. Did you know that?
I do know it, and I'm trying. I can't wait to listen to it because
Some-
I've read it. But I appreciate the way you read an audiobook.
Well, there's some young people, particularly, who actually find it easier to quote read a book that's an audiobook.
Yeah.
I think it's true. Michael, you find it easier to read an audiobook, right? Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think he does.
Huh?
So I have a friend who does both.
At the same time?
Yes.
Really?
If she really wants to understand something. Now, it depends, right? Some authors who read their books, I'm a little like, you know what, I'm going to turn this off and I'm going to keep reading.
I spent forever.
Oh, I saw it on your
reading.
calendar and I tried to find you and you were tied up for 6 days or something.
It was almost torture because what you're doing, you're in a little booth and you're reading your
Oh,
words.
can you say that again?
And they say, can you say that again? Say that again, say that again. And you're going over and over and over and
Oh,
over
your
and over.
stomach just growled. We're going to need you to redo that.
That's exactly what they do.
I know
You're
they
giving
do.
me a kind of thing. But it was, and it's also a memoir. So
the way you just pronounced memoir, we'd appreciate if you say memoir.
so
Did they do that? They did.
Yes, they did that. You're bringing back
Corrective.
this. It was, agony, but it was also emotional because I'm
Oh.
talking about my life, and I'm recounting, things like being expelled from nursery school. Do you know I was expelled from nursery
I
school?
do, because I knew that before and then I read the book.
Yeah.
But I haven't listened to the audiobook.
Yeah, it was.
It's
horrible.
so brutal.
And then Mickey Schwerner.
Oh,
And this gets back to the Voting Rights Act and a lot of things we're talking about today, because My friend Mickey Schwerner was murdered by Ku Klux Klan members in Mississippi trying to register black voters in 1964.
He
To,
and two others.
and Cheney and Goodman. Uh, and and here we are, in 2025, and you have the Supreme Court on the verge of destroying the Voting Rights Act. They've already destroyed Section 5, and they're on the verge of destroying Section 2. And I think back on Mickey, and I think back on Goodman and Cheney, and all of the people who sacrificed so much,
I mean, their lives.
and so many people who sacrificed their lives in a different way. I mean, in terms of working for years and years and years. Don't get me started. Anyway, I am started.
Don't get you started on a podcast?
I am started.
Where we're having coffee?
Yeah, and I'm just gonna say a couple of things to all of you while we're on it. First of all, Heather, thank you.
Thank you. It was good to be here.
Thank you. And Michael
Thank you,
Johannes
Michael.
Calderon, thank you. And for all of you, many of you are marching today, and I want to thank you for that. Because I want to just emphasize that our leverage as citizens is to be heard, to be seen, to let our views be known peacefully, and again, patriotically. I hope you wave an American flag, and purposefully, that is, make sure that you understand and everybody around you understands that the purpose of this today is to drive home the point that we are not a monarchy. We are not being governed by a king. We are a constitutional democracy. And we want to make sure people understand that's what we understand, and that's what we believe, and we will demand. And also have some fun. I think that part of the purpose of a demonstration like today, and it certainly was previous demonstrations, gigantic demonstrations, is to feel enjoyment in solidarity. The more solidarity we have, the less fearful we need to be of the Trump administration, because the more solidarity we have, the more we can confront that tyranny. The more solidarity we have, the easier it is for us to stop the brutality and the bullying. The more solidarity we have, in other words, the easier it is for us to reclaim our democracy and the rule of law and social justice. So it's an important day, but it is just the beginning. It's just the beginning of awakening the sleeping giant of America. Good luck to you in solidarity.
See you next week.
See you next week.